Alright, today I'm going to give you guys a detailed look at this Thor figure from Avengers Infinity War, and it is by SH Figuarts. And there's the box, and let me show you guys the back. You can see he comes with the Stormbreaker. Yes, that's what it's called. And then here are a couple of poses of him, and let's take a look at the figure itself. Alright, so here's the figure outside of packaging. Let's go over the accessories first. Again, this figure comes with a Stormbreaker right there, which he's holding right now, and then comes with 4 extra hands, a pair of fists, pair of open hands, and then a pair of gripping hands. Now, one thing I didn't like about these gripping hands, as I've mentioned, if you watch my Gladiator Hulk video, you'll notice that I hated these hands. The fact that they aren't closed properly, and it doesn't feel like he's using any energy to hold on to any weapons. Like with Hulk, I feel like he should be gripping these weapons with authority and power, which he doesn't. And same with this Thor hand. You can see it's very relaxed gripping type of hand, which I didn't like at all. Because when he is swinging this Stormbreaker, his hand looks, I would imagine he would be gripping it with all his might. But here you can see he's barely holding on to it, which is very disappointing when it comes to gripping hands. That's one thing I don't like at all. And as for the figure, it is a very good looking Thor figure, which I have to say. I believe we have gotten one other Thor figure from SH Figuarts. I want to say, yeah, one other one. That one comes with a plastic cape, which I hated. I hated any plastic cape. So I have to get this one because it comes with a cloth cape. It does have wires running through it, which I'm okay with. And then this amazing looking head sculpt of Chris Hemsworth. Let's take a look at that head sculpt. It is done really, really well. And I actually can go so far as to say that this head sculpt is actually better than the Mesco one. Because I think the Mesco one did a really good job. Mesco did a really good job with the Thor Ragnarok Thor figure. It comes with 3 head sculpts. All 3 of them look amazing. But I think the SHF is actually far superior. A little bit better. I mean, I wouldn't say far superior. Just definitely better than the Mesco version. And then let's take a look at the rest of his armor. He doesn't come with bare arms. He comes with these black arms. There's the rest of him. His whole outfit is pretty much black, almost all black. And here's the cloth cape. Alright, so as far as articulation, head is on a ball joint, and base of the neck there's another ball joint, so he is able to look down. And with a little bit of heating, he could actually look up a little bit, because the collar piece and the shoulder piece is all one rubbery plastic. I mean, it's not like super rubbery, but it is a softer type of plastic, so if you heat it up, it will soften up. The reason I had to soften up was because the shoulder piece, which is connecting the cape to it, it's very bulky. I had to readjust some of the stitchings from the edge here, because it was all bunched up over on this side, so it made this this section of the shoulder up quite a bit than this side. So I was able to readjust the stitching, the edge of the cape here, section, and then all around a little bit better, so it fits a little bit better now. And then while I had that going on, I was able to pull the collar section back a little bit, so which allows him to look up now, because when you first get this figure, he can't look up at all. But if you heat up with the hairdryer a little bit, you can soften up the section and then just pull with your fingers, just pull it back a little bit, and to extend the collar section a little bit more, which allows him to look up. So as for the shoulders, pretty much all the same. There's a ball joint stuck in the chest area, and then here's a hinge joint for the shoulder. So yeah, ball hinge joint, so which allows him to move every which way you want, and has a little shoulder swivel. They didn't cut the bicep section, which I like, because it'll ruin the aesthetic of this armor here. And then here is where what they did something interesting now. Here's a hinge joint, and then inside here they also added a ball joint. So here you can see this is a ball joint that's attached to the bicep section. Let me push it back in. Which allows him to have a little more range. Okay. Alright, so when you bend his elbow, you could bend over 90 degrees, a little over 90, and then with this joint, well, actually, if this wasn't a joint, they didn't add that ball joint section there, his arms could only bend about that much. And then once they added that little ball joint section, his arms can move up even more, so it bends a little bit more, or just a little more range to it now. So that's kind of neat. Which is something different. And then ball hinge wrist, it's just your regular SHF. And then the chest is on a ball joint. Try to zoom out a little bit so easier for you guys to watch. So yeah, so ball joint. It doesn't help at all. It doesn't help that much. Yeah, so he could do a crunch, and then not too much. Also the waist, there's a ball joint, and then when he's looking up, oh, he can look up a lot higher now. Oh, I think it's mainly because of the waist though. There's a ball joint here, and the ball joint is in the chest, so which allows him to arch back quite a bit. And as for the legs, they can be lowered. These are on ball joints, which I'm not a fan of anymore. It's pretty tight, so it's okay. But some of these can get loose quite easily. Especially for Captain America figures, I notice all their ball joints are super loose, but with Thor it's okay, so I'm okay for now. Then as for the knees, it could bend, it's double jointed over 90 degrees, and then he has a ball jointed ankle, so move every which way, so you could pivot left and right, forward and back, and then toes articulation. Alright, here I got Thor waiting for Stormbreaker to arrive, and here, yeah, the pose, and then cape, cloth cape, inner layer is black, outer layer is red. Nice addition to SHF figures. I would hope that from now on all the capes will be cloth cape instead of plastic cape. And this figure is going to set you back about almost $100 because it is a web exclusive. So some stores will jack up the price a little bit. So yeah, if you want this store, you have to shell out about $100 for it. So there you go. There's Thor from Infinity War, and thanks for watching.